Hi guys, welcome back to Body Polish once again. My name is Leslie and today we're going to do my best of skincare for 2016. Kind of late, but let's just do it anyways. So I have a lot of redness to my face, especially on my cheek area, more so on this side. If you look here, I have some breakouts that are slowly fading away. You tend to get along this part of my face and along the jawline for me. I tend to have a lot of dryness along my T-zone, so right here has the most flakes, a lot right here, and my chin. I do sometimes get oily a little bit if it's the end of the day and I have product on my face that does have a little bit of oil, but my skin is very dry. I use a lot of very moisturizing products, and yeah, that's how my skin looks. Let me just powder my face so I stop blinding you guys. Just finished powdering my face with a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury powder. Haven't done anything else. I just don't think for a skincare video I should put a whole bunch of makeup so you can't see my skin. I am going to try my best because I think I have really old pictures of my skin because I have really reactive skin. One of just how I normally look, which is like a lot of redness and stuff from a couple years ago. My skin actually has gotten a lot better, and hopefully I can find another picture and put over here where how it looks like when I have really bad reactions, which is when my face explodes. And that was about when I was like 21 or 22 when I first started having those kind of reactions. I'm going to start out by talking about cleansers. I'm going to talk about my first step for double cleansing. I don't double cleanse every night, but when I wear SPF or makeup, I always double cleanse unless I'm really forgetful, and I forget. Happens sometimes. But I always like to use this SK2 facial treatment cleansing oil. This is my second, I think my third bottle actually. Maybe my second. But these ones last for a very long time. I only use 1 or 2 pumps max for my whole face, and it just removes my makeup really effectively. It does even my eyeliners and my mascara. So I really enjoy this one. I have tried some other ones, but this is still my favorite. When I'm feeling too lazy to use a cleansing oil, I tend to use this one. I did actually a first impression review, which I will link here for you guys up here. Well, this is 100% natural and handmade apparently, according to the box when I got it. And I still really like this. I've used it quite a bit. There's still a lot left. It's a mini soap bar. Look, there's little suds on it, but that's how it is. I got the little travel size one for $5 and it's lasted me a long time. So I think if I do run out, I probably will get another one because it works really well with my makeup. It's just, it doesn't get rid of the eye makeup very well because this, if you watch my first impressions, really stings the eye. Onto the cleansers that I use daily. What I've been using currently is this Sunday Riley Ceramic Slip Clay Cleanser. It's a little bit dirty, but because I've been using it every day, it comes in 125 mils, and it's supposed to minimize pores and detoxify for clear porcelain skin. What it says this contains is French green clay, which is supposed to be very good at deep cleaning and absorbing impurities. Also has Moroccan Rahaso lava clay. I'm not quite sure if I said that right, but that one I heard is really good at kind of decreasing dryness and also deep cleaning the pores and enhancing clarity as well. Also vitamin C in here, which I heard is very good for anti-aging and also reducing redness or inflammation for acne apparently. I don't know, I just did a little bit of Googling, I'm not quite sure. And neroli, black pepper, frankinese, jasmine, and sandalwood essential oils. So a little bit runny. It looks like there's clay in it from like the way the color is, and I just use 1 pump and I put it on my Luna, which I still love, and it just lathers really well and it just cleans my skin. So I've been using this since like about July and August, and I still have about half the bottle left. So I think a bottle could last you almost a year or maybe like 9 months. So I still really like this. I know a lot of people complain about the scent, but it doesn't really bother me at all. This is another cleanser that I've been using for most of the year. I actually went through like 2 or 3 bottles of this. Dr. Jart Pore Medic Pore Minish Cleansing Bubble. It's supposed to be a dual action cleansing foam, controls excess oil and minimize pores. This is hypoallergenic and cruelty free, and it's supposed to contain oxygen in there, which when I looked it up, which was kind of hard for me to even find information about oxygen in skincare and studies on it or anything, but they say that it increases circulation, which increases the delivery of nutrients to the skin. I don't know how effective that is. It was just a very good cleanser when I was reacting. It's very gentle. It's not drying at all to me. It doesn't actually foam up like it says it does. It kind of bubbles a little bit, but not really. It's very kind of like a gel-like and kind of watery. But for $32, I just felt like it was too expensive for me to keep using because I would go through it so fast in probably like 3 months. Maybe 4 if I'm lucky. So I just stopped using it. I was to ever get a really sensitive, maybe reactive skin and my skin can't really handle cleansers, I would probably go back to this. It's this Mer Renewal Oil. I actually got this as a gift with purchase for buying the La Mer cream that I always use. I've been using this since December 1st, so I haven't been using it that long, but from what I've used of it, I really liked it. This is the only oil that hasn't broken me out with consistent use, and it just absorbs so nicely into my skin. And it was one of those oils where I put it on and the next morning I woke up and my skin looked great, like glowy. And I knew that it wasn't just me, like placebo effect, because I actually did on one side like a weirdo and tested my husband out, and he said that the side with the oil on actually looked better. So anyways, I've been using it consistently morning and night. Comes with an elixir slash oil. It got mixed right now because I dropped it, but usually there's a layer of fluid on the bottom and the oil kind of sits on top because it floats on the liquid. Just shake this up and then you have to get the dropper and get the product. It's supposed to improve collagen production. It's supposed to soften the look of emerging lines and wrinkles. I don't know how effective that is right now because I don't really have that many wrinkles right now, and so I can't really judge if it made any wrinkles or anything go away. But I do know that it really helps to hydrate my skin, and I just look more glowy using it. This is the Good Genes treatment by Sunday Riley, and it's said to brighten, exfoliate, plump lines, even hyperpigmentation, increase circulation for instant radiance. And this contains a pretty good amount of lactic acid in it, which is an AHA, which is basically means that it exfoliates your face a little bit, kind of like sloughs away the dead skin cells on top of your skin. It helps to renew your cells. I know, I'm not a skincare guru, but anyways, I really like this. I found that when I first used it, because I have a lot of redness on my face, this is one of the products that actually really helped with my redness. When I used it the next morning, I wake up and my face is a lot less red and it's a lot smoother and more even in general. I heard that this can help kind of pull in and hold moisture to your skin. Stephanie Nicole does really good reviews about Sunday Riley. She does kind of more in-depth talks and she knows about ingredients and stuff, which I don't. So if you guys want to know more, just check out her videos on it. But since July, I've used about this much. I have about a little bit, like about 1/3 of the bottle left. So I only use about one pump for my whole face, which is about this much. I only use this at night using that one pump that I showed you. And I make sure in the morning time to put sunscreen on because using acids can make you more sensitive to light and that can cause more damages and wrinkles and stuff if you're not careful. If you are to start out, I would recommend you to use it once every couple of days until your skin kind of builds up to it if you never used acids before. I didn't really have much of a problem using this. I did find that when I first used it, it kind of stung my face a little bit, but that would go away. I'm used to it now. I don't get any stinging feeling at all unless I'm having one of those reactive days when my skin is just more tender, and then I'll feel a little bit of stinging when I put it on. But I just really like how this one, it gently exfoliates my face because as someone with dry skin, I feel like sometimes people tend to forget that you really need to work on exfoliating because we have a lot of dead skin that clings on top, those flakes. And if we just leave it there, it's very hard for our skin to absorb the products we put on top because that's kind of like a barrier that's blocking all our moisture and all the good stuff that we're putting on top from getting absorbed into our actual healthy live skin. The MetaHeal Placenta Revital Mask, and this is the same company that made the tea tree one that I mentioned in my yearly favorites for 2015, which by the way, I still love everything I mentioned in my 2015. This is just new stuff that I discovered for last year. I still use everything from 2015 actually. This works really great when my skin is just so dry. It gives a lot of moisture back into my skin. My skin feels more supple and just looks more plump. And I just really recommend this when your skin's very dehydrated or you have dry skin like me. It's called Black Sugar Mask Scrub. It's dual action scrub facial mask, purifies, exfoliates skin for all skin types. If you see Selena's video, she uses something similar but from Freeman. It's because when they were staying over at my house, her and Tim, her boyfriend, every day almost was using my mask. It looks like this. It comes out very sugary and black, if you can see that. There's a lot of sugar in there. And I put it on it, my skin starts feeling warm because it's a charcoal getting activated. It kind of gets rid of the toxins and impurities and it gets the oils on your skin. And then after you're done leaving this on for what it says, which is 5 to 7 minutes, I leave it on probably a little longer than that. I tend to do that with all my masks. And then I go to the sink and I start scrubbing my face with the sugars left over. And then I just rinse off my face. Something interesting that I discovered last year, this is the Blythe Energy Yellow Citrus and Honey Padding Splash Mask. I've been using this for a while now. I actually got this kind of middle of the year. It looks like I have a lot left, but there's a reason for that. This is an interesting mask because it's based on like the Korean and the Japanese, I think it's Korean Japanese kind of tradition of where they go to hot springs and they bathe in waters that are infused with different kind of nutrients. I think they put like tea leaves. I think they actually have like natural minerals and stuff like that. And it kind of just revitalizes their skin and makes them look nice, I guess. But this is based on that concept, and there's a couple of methods you can use this. One of them is by going in the shower, and then as you're showering, you pour some in your hand while it's water's running and kind of splash yourself, which I feel like is very ineffective, and I don't really like the idea of pouring something in the shower, and I feel like it just really goes on a drain before you can get on your face. A second way of using this is by pouring about a capful amount of this liquid into a face bowl or anything like that, and you dilute it with water. So they say the ratio is 100 to 1, so you need very little of this per water ratio. So it actually lasts quite a bit if you use either the basin method or if you do what I do, which is what I heard from other people that use this to not kind of run through this very fast, is they would dilute it with water and literally just put it into a spray bottle. And after I wash my face, before I put anything else on, I would mist my face until it's damp with this. Not just damp, but kind of like very wet with it, and I'll pat it in. You don't rinse this off, but I would take kind of my face towel and I just kind of pat it off, and I just go on to the rest of my skincare. And so far that's lasted me a long time. It has a concentrated blend of lactic acid and botanical extracts in innovative splash mask format. Splash this liquid treatment onto the face to retexturize and smooth skin instantly and increase radiance over time. Formulated with citrus fruit extracts and honey to help brighten skin for a natural youthful glow. And I do find that every time I spray myself with the spray bottle that I have and kind of pat it in, I do feel like my skin looks more brighter and kind of more glowy afterwards. I'm not sure how that works. I'm going to leave it on for a little bit and I kind of pat it in, but it does. This is the Glam Glow Super Mud Clearing Treatment. I like to use this when I have breakouts on my face. I'm almost out of it. If you look at it, it's just kind of like a black mask. It smells, it reminds me of like licorice or something, the smell. This one I like to use only as spot treatments for when I get big pimples, because I tend to get either a reaction, which is, if you saw the picture from before, it's little tiny pus-filled pimples all over, and then that is very painful, and I can only deal with it by kind of exfoliating it and getting rid of it and like kind of getting rid of all the peeling skin. But if I don't get that, I tend to get big pimples that are painful and kind of throb, and it's kind of like hard to touch. For those kind of pimples, I like to put this on top. I'll spot treat it by putting it on top, and I'll leave it for as long as possible. I can leave it for like an hour or two, and you find that it's weird. It dries down and it looks great, and then it'll start to kind of like get moisture again, because I think the oils are coming out as you're leaving it on. It won't make the pimple disappear, but it'll help reduce the size of it, and I find that it's slightly less painful if I do it. It doesn't really work for Selena when she does it, but for me it does. I don't know if it will for everyone. That's just how I like to use it. So this is one of my staples on my drawer because I need it when I have the nasty suckers on my face. The last thing I want to talk about is this My Scheming Black Mask. If you guys saw, me and Selena actually did a first impressions. I'll link it up here. I like to use this instead of Pore mask. I haven't used Pore mask in a long time because I got kind of petrified after reading quite a few reviews where people say that they did it regularly because it's so satisfying to see all this gunk come out. But after doing it regularly for a long time, they noticed that the sizes of the pores actually became enlarged because they were ripping the skin and ripping the pores and kind of damaging their skin, and it wasn't closing up as it should. So I like how this one is a lot more gentle. You use like a cleansing oil that they provide, and it kind of loosens the sebum on your face. You rinse that oil off, and then you put the product on, which is a charcoal, and it dries into like a peel off like mask. And then you peel it off, and though you can feel tugging, it doesn't feel painful at all. And I find it's less drying than if I use Pore, and it might not come off like every single pore or anything like that, but I feel like this is just as effective as using Pore, and it's less likely to leave damage to my nose, I just feel like personally. That was all that I had for 2016. Let me know if you guys tried any of the products I mentioned and how it worked for you. If you guys have better alternatives for similar products of what I used, let me know, especially if it's cheaper. That would be great. And I hope to see you guys soon. Bye-bye!